Hey everybody, what's up? So when I was 32 years old, I actually bought a house in cash. I just wrote a big old check for it and it was mine. No mortgage, no bank involved. It was just me and the title company. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to tell you how I did that right here in this video. Here's how it went down. I signed up for a home-based business opportunity, and 2.5 years later, I was 32 years old and buying a house in cash, declaring financial freedom and independence and all those wonderful, beautiful things that set you free and replaces a lot of stress with a lot of peace and tranquility. It was because of a home-based business that I signed up for and worked, and it was beautiful. Now, I want to conquer just a few things that might be going on in your brain right now, such as, oh, Tom, you just had things lined up for you. It was the right time and all of this. No. When I signed up for this, I was almost homeless, one step away from being homeless. I had no job, no income. I didn't even have a way to pay for this, the initial investment cost when I first signed up. But I found some ways, I figured it out, and I was dead serious about this, so I just did it. And what else was going on? My parents they were not doing very well. They were I feel like they were dying. And in fact, according to my dad's doctor, he was dying. And all these horrible things were happening. I was attending college full-time and a half, along with some other responsibilities that I had. So, you know, that's a common one I hear from people, is I would do this or that, but I just don't have the time. Well, once I learned some time management skills and how to budget my time and work a calendar properly, which most people don't, even though they say they do, they really don't. Once I got that down, that made a big difference. But I had all these things working against me. There was nothing working for me. It wasn't the right time. The economy was in the toilet. It still is. In fact, when I had signed up for this, shortly after I signed up, we had stumbled into the worst recession in our country's history since the Great Depression. There was nothing good about my scenario. The only thing I had going for me was I sold myself on this, and nothing else mattered. That's it. So whatever your scenario is, I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but whatever your scenario is, you just have to sell yourself on whatever it is that you want. And if you do it intensely enough, it doesn't matter what the logistics are, you'll figure it out. And if you're humble enough, you'll ask for help from somebody who has what you want, who's willing to teach you. And you'll do it. And that person that you get help from will probably shave years off your time and probably lots of money from wasted investments and things that just go south. You just got to ask for help, and you have to have that determination, that desire, and you got to sell it to yourself every single day. Hopefully, you're not depending on anybody to motivate you every step of the way. Those people never make it until they learn how to sell themselves and motivate themselves every single day. That's what it takes. And this economy, by the way, is very empathy-driven. So if you've got a story, if you've been through some pain, you're currently in a painful scenario with whatever is going on in a financial context, that's a good thing, because this is an empathy-driven economy. What that means, I want you to really grasp this and understand what this means. What it means to be in an empathy-driven economy is that if you've got a story of some pain and some real-life struggle, and you learn how to effectively communicate it in a way with other people, in a way that moves other people, then you're going to do better. You're going to accumulate more wealth than Ivy League college graduates, period. That's a wonderful, beautiful thing that not enough people even know about or truly understand. If I were you, I would go back and watch this video a dozen times to make sure you've got that ingrained into your brain, that nothing else matters except you selling yourself on what you really want and doing whatever it takes, and the fact that this economy is empathy-driven, not college Ivy League graduate-driven. It's not driven by that stuff. It's driven by empathy. So if you've got a story and you're coming from something painful, something challenging, you're positioned, you could be positioned, depending on your own individual perspective, you could position yourself with your story to accumulate massive amounts of wealth in a way that adds a benefit to society. That's a beautiful thing. If you want to know what I'm doing, the business, the home-based business, the online business that I took advantage of, that set me free, message me. I'll ask you some questions, we'll interview each other, and depending on your response to my questions will determine whether or not I would even consider working with you, to be honest. If I can be forthcoming and honest and you haven't planted little eggshells around you where you're easily offended and you get your feelings hurt and that sort of stuff, if I can be forthcomingly honest with you, depending on how you answer questions that I have for you, is going to determine whether or not I would even consider working with you and letting you into my team so that you can become financially free and independent and get out of debt entirely, those bondages of modern day slavery known as debt. So, and you know, honestly, if you're not a selfish person, then I wouldn't even worry about it. You're going to do fine. But if you're just some selfish jerk face, don't even message me, because it's just going to come out in the questions that I ask, and I won't let you in my team. But I think probably just about almost everyone watching this video isn't a selfish jerk face. And you might still be asking, well, what's in it for me? And you know, if you're in a really tough spot, I totally understand that. What I'm telling you is, if you help enough people get what they want, especially in this business of relational marketing and an empathy-driven economy, you help out enough people get what they want, you get everything that you want. It happens in synergy like that. It's the way it is, that's the way it should be, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So get a hold of me, and we'll ask each other those questions, and then you can make your own informed decision about what you want to do with the information that I give you. And then, you know, you can just do whatever that you have to do to live a beautiful life, whether it's with my opportunity or some other opportunity. It doesn't matter. I just want you guys to find what it is that you're looking for, that you are craving to give you and your family the life that you want, and to do it in a way that you're adding a benefit to society. There is no profiting without questioning what the consequences are going to be. I so wish somebody would let Big Pharma know, but that's another discussion for another day. So get a hold of me, reach out to me, and let's do something really awesome with our lives and with society, because the way things are going right now with society, most people die of a chronic lifestyle disease. Most people are living in debt. 98% of the population is dead or dead broke before the age of 65. We have to do something that helps ourselves in a way that benefits society. It is such a dire need right now, and that's what I want in my team. Absolutely. Message me. Let's talk.